On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Well, the 2025 Super League regular season is over, and it was a tumultuous, emotional and event-packed Friday evening with Salford playing what might be their last ever Super League game. In fact, we don't even know the extent of their involvement in the sport next year, and their match had to be stopped by referee Jack Smith when there was a pitch invasion in the final 5 minutes, and full-time interviews on Sky were abandoned because fans protesting against the club's owners interrupted those interviews. Salford at home leading early before losing to Wakefield 52 points to 16. Elsewhere, Leigh Leopards before the playoffs didn't have things their own way at the Leigh Sports Village, but they did wind up 30 to 16 winners over Huddersfield. St Helens really had to fight to beat Castleford 26-24 at Totally Wicked Stadium. And Wigan look like they're purring heading into the business end of the season. Pretty convincing 22-6 victors against Leeds Rhinos. That means the playoffs next weekend have been finalised. On Friday night, Leigh are at home to Wakefield, and on Saturday, it's St Helens at Headingley taking on Leeds Rhinos. This is Steve Mascord for rugbyleague.com. Now with the rest of today's news, here's Jason Costigan.
Thanks, Steve. There's ongoing fallout to Victor Radley's suspension by the Sydney Roosters, with plenty of talk that the boys from Bondi will now seek salary cap relief after rubbing out their own player for 10 matches. According to reports, the Roosters could be eligible for $150,000 in cap relief following their decision to ban Victor the Inflictor without pay in the aftermath of that text message scandal involving former teammate Brandon Smith. And don't forget, Roosters Supremo Nick Politis wanted to get rid of Radley altogether, but an appeal by coach Trent Robinson saved the day, and the star forward still expected to play for England in the battle for the Ashes. In a further development, we're hearing that the Players' Union, the RLPA, is getting involved in the Radley situation, and they carry plenty of weight. After all, they stopped the Kangaroos from playing France this northern autumn. We're actually hearing that the RLPA could formally complain to the NRL about the punishment Radley copped on the grounds it may have breached the game's collective bargaining agreement. Briefly, in other news, at the West Tigers, Matt Betsy has decided to pull the pin as GM of football. Apparently, he wasn't happy with the top brass at the club. And as for the on-field action, the first of this weekend's NRL finals is Saturday night local time in the national capital. In what a sudden death, the Raiders play the Sharks as Canberra look to dust themselves off after that dramatic and controversial Golden Point loss to the Broncos. Before that, in the NRLW, the finals kick off with Newcastle hosting Gold Coast, then the Cowboys welcome Cronulla. In the Queensland Cup, in the Saturday game for week 3 of the finals, it's Burleigh versus Redcliffe on the Gold Coast. In the New South Wales Cup playoffs, the Warriors face Parramatta at Cogra. And in the Bush, more grand finals this weekend, including Saturday's season finale on the New South Wales Central Coast, where Toukley play Kincumber. Less than 24 hours later, more grand finals as far afield as Newcastle, Wagga, Toowoomba and the Gold Coast. Jason Costigan reporting for rugbyleague.com.